Hello everybody, my name is Marcus Berry. Today's message is about exposure. Exposure is extremely important. Exposure means experiencing or coming into contact with someone or somebody, right? And it works both ways, right? Oftentimes we think of exposure in a bad way, right? Especially nowadays with COVID-19 and flu season, the common cold and different diseases and infections going around, right? We don't want to be exposed to those things, right? But again, it works both ways. If we're exposed to good things, if we're exposed to healthy behaviors, things that are going to fortify us, make us stronger, make us better, make us smarter, right? Though the results of that can potentially help us, right? So the same way we want to avoid negative exposure or exposure to sickness or, just bad things, we want to pursue positive exposure. We want to put ourselves in an environment that's going to uplift us, an environment that's going to shape us, an environment that's going to help us grow, right? We want to surround ourselves with people who have experienced things that we're trying to experience, who have learned things that we're trying to learn, who've been places that we're trying to go, right? You want to expose yourself to those people so it can kind of rub off on you the same way that if you're around someone who is negative, who you're around somebody who doesn't have a lot of positive behaviors, if you're around somebody who's just an overall bad influence, they're gonna rub off on you as well. So exposure, experiencing or coming into contact with someone or somebody. It's extremely important to be aware of the things that you're exposed to or the things that you expose yourself to, right? It's extremely important, right? Exposure. But think of it in a good way. Think of surrounding yourselves with people who are gonna help you, who are gonna benefit you, who you can learn from, who can teach you, right? Who are gonna help stretch you and make you grow, right? Think of exposure that way, right? While we're all, social distancing, we're masking up, we're, using hand sanitizer, right? We're avoiding the negative exposure. We also want to engage in positive exposure, right? My first time being at a marathon, right? I was only running a half, but just being exposed to the environment and the energy and just the crowd and everybody who was there, it made me want to train that much more to complete the full marathon, right? It's about exposure. Or my first time, going out of the country, using my passport, I was exposed to different cultures, different environments, different surroundings, and it expanded my imagination that much more, right? So today's message is just about exposure, right? Expose yourself to new things, new environments, new people, new cultures, new practices that are going to help you grow, that are going to help you learn, and that are going to help you become a better person. That's what life is about. It's about learning, it's about growing, it's about spreading love, and it's about serving others. So exposure. Don't be afraid to expose yourself to new things, right? We want to avoid the bad things. We want to avoid the negative exposure, but we also want to get some positive exposure and some positive influences in our lives as well. So that's the message for today, exposure. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.